Hello there. Jason here. I'm going to be doing something a little different today, and that's thanks to a little film called Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. I went to see it yesterday, and I'm going to start off by saying it broke my brain. There's just so much going on in that movie that it left me disoriented. I wasn't quite sure how I felt entirely about the movie, and I needed about a day to process it. I might even need to go see it again just to completely absorb what I had watched. So I'm going to be splitting this review into two parts. Part one right now is going to be a non-spoiler to spoiler light review, because it is almost impossible to talk about this movie without spoiling it. And in order for me to truly share my thoughts on it, I'm going to have to spoil it, which is why I've got a part 2 video that will be coming out, which will be my spoiler-heavy review. So you can watch this video first, go see the movie, and then check out my spoiler review, or just wait until after you've seen the movie to watch both reviews. But anyway, now that all that's out of the way, I'm just going to get into as much as I can in this video without potentially spoiling the movie. So what I want to talk about, first of all, is Benedict Cumberbatch. Once again, as Dr. Stephen Strange, he continues to prove why he's perfectly cast as Doctor Strange. He truly embodies the character. And for an actor of his caliber, you want some nuance in that performance, and that's exactly what I mean. He gives you exactly what you're looking for. So that's all I'm going to say about him. Again, I've got that spoiler review coming. Elizabeth Olsen as Wanda Maximoff, aka the Scarlet Witch, is a force of nature in this movie, and again, that's all I'm going to say about her right now. I absolutely loved Elizabeth Olsen in this movie. I always loved her as Wanda, and this movie really kind of hammers that point home. So definitely, yeah, she's definitely, in my opinion, the biggest highlight of the movie. Benedict Wong as Wong, the Sorcerer Supreme, as we found out in Spider-Man No Way Home, has really come into the character, and he's having a lot of, you can tell he really enjoys doing this, and the dynamic between him and Benedict Cumberbatch is always fun to watch. Him always trying to rein Stephen in as much as he possibly can. Is always a fun thing to watch, ever since the first movie, and it just continues throughout this franchise, and you see a lot of that in this movie. Rachel McAdams returns as Christine Palmer, reprising her role from the first Doctor Strange film and What If. One thing I will say is she's doing the best with what she's got. I often feel like Christine has been used more as a plot device through these films, and that's still pretty apparent here. Again, not going to give too much away, but yeah, for an actress of her caliber, I feel like they should give her more to work with. But she does very well with what she's given. Xochitl Gomez, and I apologize if I'm mispronouncing her name. I'm, again, bad with names. Is really good as America Chavez. She brings a lot of energy and heart to the character. I can't wait to see more of her in the future. And just the dynamic between her and Doctor Strange is a lot of fun to see on screen. So again, I can't wait to see more of her moving down the line. Now, this was a Sam Raimi film, and it very much is a Sam Raimi film. For anyone who's familiar with his work would know what that means. There's some very Sam Raimi things in this film. It works in a lot of places. In some places, it just gets weird for the sake of being weird. But I mean, all in all, I think he puts his stamp on it, and that's starting to become a common trend in these Marvel films. Like in the early days of Marvel, when directors weren't allowed to put their own spin on things, and that's kind of why Edgar Wright left Ant-Man, which was disappointing to me. I would have loved to see how that movie played out under his direction. But since Guardians of the Galaxy with James Gunn and Thor Ragnarok with Taika Waititi, we're starting to see Marvel letting go of the reins and handing them over to their respective directors, and that's very apparent here in Multiverse of Madness. Danny Elfman does the score for this film, and he does a fantastic job as always. Just everything that you would expect from a legendary composer like him, and that's all I'm going to say about that for now. There's so much going on in this movie. Again, I need another review to talk about it. A spoiler-free review is all I can do right now, but I'm going to talk about heavy spoilers in my part 2 of this. Tonally, it's very different from anything that the MCU is doing right now, which I think is really great. It's the reason why I liked Moon Knight. It's so much different from what Marvel has done in the past. In terms of the horror elements of this film, it's not quite what I expected. You expect Marvel, very family friendly, trying to keep the kid gloves on, and they really let Sam Raimi go. So it's kind of, in terms of its horror elements, the best comparison I can make without quite spoiling it would be Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. Now that movie was PG, but it's because of that movie that we have the PG-13 rating along with Gremlins. So it kind of, in terms of its horror elements, I can equate it to that film. It's very similar. So parents, take your kids at your discretion, because it earns every bit of that PG-13 rating. So with all that's been going on in this movie, I can't exactly give it a solid, surefire review. So I'm just going to break down my thoughts into, what I liked, what I disliked, and kind of things that were pretty peculiar to me. For the things that I really liked about the movie, I'll give it a 4 out of 5. For the things that I wouldn't say so much disliked, but were kind of a little off-putting to me, I would say I'd give it probably a 3 out of 5. And the same thing with things that I felt were a bit peculiar about the film, 3 out of 5. I mean, so overall, I would say 4 out of 5, 3 out of 5, 3 out of 5, and 3 out of 5. Which, for a movie called The Multiverse of Madness, I would say that's pretty fitting to have more than one review, wouldn't you? Wouldn't you? Let me know what you thought of Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness down in the comments. I'm very much interested to hear your thoughts on that. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. And click that notification bell to get updates on all my future videos. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, I'll see you in the multiverse.